Okay, we are live.
All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is Virtual Campus Talk, a project from Go a Bit Further African. And we are having the first of its kind virtual speaker series. And we have an amazing lineup of guests for you. So, I'll be introducing our guests shortly. We have Miss Stephanie Williams. Miss Stephanie,
Yes.
Miss Yeah, so we have Miss Stephanie. I know her a lot as a JCI member. So for all those in JCI, this is your person. Then she has also written three books. The 360-degree graduates. That's on undergraduate rather. That I'm aware of. So we have somebody that is experienced and has gone through the same thing that all of us have gone through. Then we also have Mr. Favour Aigbodion, also another JCI person. So all the JCI people, they are your people here. Yeah. So with no further ado, Miss Stephanie, can you tell us about yourself a bit? Just tell the
All
audience a
right.
bit.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. First off, I want to be sure you can see me and you can hear me clearly. I don't know if I can see the chat from here, but I want to be sure that they can hear me and they can see me. So please, if you're here, if you're live with us, just let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. Please.
Hello. Don't worry, they are
Okay.
coming in. Just little technical difficulties, I guess.
Okay. I think someone said,
Okay, yeah, I've seen her. So
okay.
weekend.
All right, guys. Good evening again, once again. Thank you so much, Godly, for this opportunity. I want to say thank you to Go a Bit Further Africa for this opportunity to be on this platform. I mean, it's an honor, it's a privilege I do not take for granted. I'm really grateful, right, to share my wealth of experience, to share the knowledge that I have with, million of people out there. So thank you so much. That's for a start. And yes, what's there about me? Okay, I am Stephanie Williams and popularly known as the Valiant Visionary. I'm an author, three books. Yes, you heard that before. I'm a published author of three books. I'm a personal development enthusiast. I'm so passionate about personal development because I feel like you cannot go far in life without developing yourself as a person, right? And then lastly, I am a graduate, yeah, of from the prestigious University of Benin. So yes, that's it. So that's a
Okay.
little bio about
About
me.
you. Okay, thank you. Also with us, we have Mr. Favour Aigbodion. Hello, Mr. Favour. Oh,
Can
wow,
you
it's
hear me?
cracking. Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Please,
evening.
please confirm you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Hmm. I
I can
can
hear
hear you. I can hear you. I can hear
Okay.
you.
So my name is Favor Aigbodion, and I am a graphic designer in JCI Uniben, and I'm
Hmm.
also a
That's good.
final year student. This is currently my last semester from Department
Wow.
of Accounting. Yeah, so it's been good, honestly. Yeah. So
Hmm.
personal development is something that I do not take at all. Like I do not take it lightly. I do not take it lightly at all. And I want to express my gratitude to the Go a Bit Further Academy organization for the opportunity to speak on this platform about this. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So we'll be going straight into it. So I think Miss Stephanie, we'll have you take the stage now and tell us about everything. Just let's start going. So
Okay,
thank
so
you.
I have, how many minutes do I have?
20, 20.
All right, 20 minutes, and the time starts now. All right, thank you so much. Thank you. And as I go on, I would love to see your comments in the chat box to ensure that you're following me and you're getting, the value that I'm actually dishing out tonight. So I would love to really see your comment down below, right? What's the points that are hitting you and all of that? Then prepare for your questions. So, like I said, thank you once again for this opportunity. Go a bit further, Africa. So, basically, fundamentals of personal development, right? So, let me start. Personal development. What does it entail? What does it mean? We're living in a world right now, or this era, this century, where everybody's basically talking about personal development. It's becoming a cliche, right? It's becoming a cliche. Everybody, personal development. You move to this place, this person is a personal development strategist, this person is a personal development enthusiast, this person is a personal development, this, that, and all of that. But what does this personal development really mean? What does this thing mean? Personal development. Is it just a cliche, or there is something behind it? Is what we're about to find out tonight, right? So the fundamentals, which means the basics, what you should know about personal development, so that you don't go about shouting and talking like every other person that you're into personal development. Are you really developing yourself as a person? You want to be sure about that first before you can go out there and say, oh, because people want to really see results. People want to see the evidence. There should be a change. And I would say that for you to say that, oh, you're into personal development or you have developed yourself to a certain level, a certain height, right? There must be a transformation. And that is to say that the way you are today must be different from the way you'll be tomorrow. The way you were yesterday should be different from the way you'll be today. That's the whole essence. So if your yesterday and today they are still the same, then you're playing, you're joking, you're not doing anything called personal development. So like the word says, personal development is a personal thing. This is your journey. It's your own journey alone. So you have to ensure that you're walking the path and you're walking it well. Stop looking at people's journey, because I feel like why people get to some certain point and they stop, or they feel frustrated, you're not consistent enough in this journey of developing yourself as a person, is because one, you've not come to terms with understanding who you are and where you need to be. Because it starts from knowing where you are and where you need to be to actually move forward. So if you don't know where you're going to and you don't even know where you are currently, you cannot take a step, you cannot move forward, right? So that is it. And I'll say personal development starts with self-awareness. Self-awareness is coming to terms with, this is who I am. This is who I am. These are my strengths. These are my weakness. What areas do I need to address? What area do I need to fix about myself? And where do I see myself going? Because that is the driving force. If you do not have a vision, I will not talk about personal development without mentioning vision, because that's how powerful it is. Every person that you're seeing out there that has built themselves to a highest level of capacity did not just get there in a snap of a finger, did not just get there because they don't know where they are going to, or because they don't have insights or like understanding of where they are going, right? They know where they are going, they have a vision for their life, they know where they want to be. And that drives them, that propels them to actually take that step, that courage to do the things that they do, because it's not always that easy. The way it looks when we come up and we show up and people are like, wow, you're doing this, and it looks so effortlessly. Not really, it's not effortlessly. But the reason why we are able to get up, show up every day consistently, is because we already have a vision of where we need to be, where we are going to. So all of these things are going to ensure that, oh, you stay consistent no matter what. Because once the destination has been clear, there's no turning back, right? So personal development is a conscious effort. Remember, is a conscious effort to actually develop yourself to your highest version, to a better version. So that's why I'll go back to self-awareness. So you need to know who exactly you are first off. Let's use the example like, I understand that I am the light of the world, but currently, am I really shining like the light of the world that I am? No. So I'm aware right now that, oh, I'm actually the light of the world because the Bible says I am the light of the world. But there are certain things that I need to start doing to actually shine these lights. Remember, I am the light. Light ought to shine. And then of the world, not my village, not my community alone. Because you can start from your community, you can start from your village, you can start from your family, right? So I'm using that concept because that's like a bigger picture. You are the light of the world, so you can be the light in your industry, in your sector, and everything. So you must have a vision first of where you want to go to. Because if you don't have a vision of where you are going to or where you want to be, there's no information that is driving you. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. There's no information, there's nothing that is driving you, there's nothing that is propelling you to actually take certain actions. You're not going to be consistent no matter what. You fall back. You will fall back. To be very honest with you, I started this my personal development journey. Well, intentionally, intentionally and radically in 2022, early 2022 as the year began. Until today, till date, I've never felt like I'm so tired, I'm so exhausted, I'm not doing this again. I've not felt that way. I'm not saying that there are times that where I don't feel down, tired, and weak, but I've never felt in my spirit to give up. Why? Because I have a bigger why. Why? Because I have a vision of where I want to be, where I see myself going. So I know that there is no turning back, there is no going back. So that has actually propelled me, fueled my desire for knowledge. Like, I'm so radical about knowledge. Anywhere there is knowledge that I can transform my life, I am there. Life and direct. I don't care how tired I am. Like after this session right now, I'm heading to ninth school because there is a knowledge that I need to grab that is going to transform my mindset about certain things. So vision is very important. If you don't have a vision of where you're going to fall, just like the seeds that fall on tongues. You're going to fall by the roadside because a lot of trends, a lot of distractions are going to come. So you need to understand, have a picture of where you are going to. Vision is very important in personal development. You want to develop yourself. Like the Bible said, a nation without vision will perish. So that's the beginning of everything, right? So until you have a vision for yourself, you see the personal development journey you're going into, you will not last. It is vision that will keep you relevant. It is vision that will ensure that you're consistent, you're disciplined. There is power in what is called a vision. For the Bible to say that a nation without vision will perish, you don't have an idea, a picture, a grasp of where you're going to, you will not last. You will not last. You just be floating with the trends and everything that is going today. If somebody comes and tell you, oh, this is what we're into this time, you jump on it. If someone comes again, oh, this is the thing, this is the end thing, you hop on it. This is the end thing, you hop on it, because there is no direction. Any way is a way to a man who has no direction. So if you don't have a vision, you don't have a direction to where you're going to, anywhere will be a way for you. So you want to ensure that you're focused in your personal development journey. You need to have a vision. Where do you see yourself going? Who do you see yourself becoming? That is the first starting point. So before you dive into the world of personal development, the industry of personal development, ensure that you've answered that question. Who do I see myself becoming? Where do I see myself going? For me, I see myself in the United Nations. I see myself all across the globe because I'm not an ordinary person. I'm not a small person. I'm not for Nigeria alone. I'm a global asset. I'm a global citizen. Even though, yes, I'm a Nigerian by birth, right? But I am not, just like you are of the world,
Yes,
but not of the world, right? We know those things. So, yes, I see myself in that light. And then I know that there are certain knowledge I need to get to actually head to
yes,
that place. So, seeing that picture of me, seeing that picture of me gives me and propels me to do the things that I do and to stay consistent. So that is it. Having a vision is very, very essential, right? So I'm going to be sharing with you effective, because we're trying to like really stick to time, strategy
okay,
for effective
network
development.
issues. Yes,
Can you tell me?
yes, we can. I mean, we notice the network issues, but we can hear you.
Okay.
You can continue.
All right. So There are strategies that you want to ensure, put in place to ensure that you see this personal development that you are heading to, that you are going for full time. Because personal development is actually like the bedrock upon which every other thing will fall. So you see your career, you want to build your career, you want to be like, we admire Tony Elumelu a lot, yes. But if they tell you the amount of work, the number of work that he has put into the brand of himself he has become today, you ask yourself again, do I really still want to be like this man? You ask yourself, do I really want to still be like this man? So there are sacrifices, there are all those things that is done behind the scene that we need to understand. But first, like I said, have a vision. Two, understand yourself. Self-awareness is very important. You must understand where you are coming from. And by that, you know that I am admiring Tony Elumelu, but I'm not going to rush the process. He has started before, long before I came. He has started before me. He has gone ahead. So my journey and his journey are not the same. So I need to be
Yeah.
aware that, oh, I'm just starting this journey. So I need to take it baby steps. I need to go the way I should go. Process. You don't have to ignore process in your place of becoming. Because when you ignore process in place of becoming, you're going to fall like a pack of card. You're going to fall. So you have to understand that this is me. I just started. So if you're just starting a personal development in this year 2024, understand yourself. Don't start comparing yourself with somebody who started in 1999, someone who started in 2020, somebody who started 2023. Understand yourself, stay in your lane, walk in your path, but ensure that you're doing the right thing. And like I said, it boils down to vision. It is the vision that will actually come back and tell you this is the line that you should follow, walk in it. So vision is very important. So what are the strategies? Number one strategy is that you need to identify the gap. That is, for example, I said I want to go into personal development. Okay, Stephanie wants to become a public speaker, right? And currently, I know and I understand that I'm very shy. I don't know how to speak in public. I'm not really good with my public speaking skills. So I've already identified that I want to be, my vision is to be, go to the nations and speak globally. I'm going to be standing in front of an ovation and I'm going to be speaking and they're going to be marveled. That is the picture I've had in my mind. That is the vision. Now I look at myself, self-awareness, where I am currently. Am I in that place where I see myself going? No, I'm shy. I can't speak in public. So how do I get there? I've identified the gap. So which means I need to go for public speaking training. So I've identified now that I am not a good public speaker. I don't know a lot about public speaking, but then I want to become a public speaker.
Yes.
Secondly, you set goals around it.
Are
What
you
do I need?
still there, ma?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Oh, it's like she's having technical issues. Okay, okay.
Can you hear me
She's
now?
having technical issues. Okay, we can hear you now. Can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Can hear you.
All right. Okay. So yes, you first of all identified that you have
The
a
gap.
gap, you have a problem. That this problem, I do not know how to speak in public. But yes, I want to become a public speaker, but I do not know how to speak in public. Now you set a goal. Okay, I want to learn how to speak in public. This is what you want to focus on because focus is very important. This is what you want to focus on. So you don't go about doing what everybody is doing. People are reading 10 books in a day. You join them and you read 10 books in a day. Are you getting knowledge from it? No. Is that book you are reading, is it trying to solve a
Wow.
particular problem in your life and make it better? No. So you're in the wrong direction. That is where it comes to, when it comes to personal, there is a personal thing. It's not everybody's race. So just because everybody is doing certain things doesn't mean it's for you. Find that area, that gap that you are missing something and
Yeah.
work on it. That is personal development. Taking it
Wow.
step by step and say, okay, this area I'm not good at it. This is what I want to focus on until I build mastery in this area. I will not move from here. So I'm using public
Wow.
speaking now as like an example. So you set a goal. Okay, I want to learn public speaking. I want to be able to converse with somebody without shaking, without fidgeting. That is your goal. Next thing, you seek specified knowledge. That is, you start attending trainings. You go for knowledge. Where there's public speaking training classes, you start attending. So some persons might be doing other things and it looks as if you're not growing with them. You are growing in that area that you were not good at. You start attending public speaking classes, speaking trainings, and you start getting yourself trained and groomed. Before you know it, 1 month, 2 months, when you remain consistent with it, you're good at it, and then you come out, you look like an overnight success. But no, you've identified a gap in your life, you've set a goal around it, you've gone to seek out knowledge in that specified area, and then you follow through. Then the next step is to take discipline action. So it's not just attending those trainings, taking courses on public speaking. Start practicing it. How do you start? You can start recording videos on your own by yourself. See how well we are doing. When assignments and tasks are assigned to you, you carry them out because it's not for the person, it's not for the coach, it's for you. It's for you to develop yourself. So it's about you. You consistently put yourself out there so that people need to see you that you're a public speaker, that you're speaking. And then maybe you can start meeting with 1 or 2 persons, organize trainings, put yourself out there in a platform that gives you that opportunity to express yourself so that you can, because they said that you see this phase that we're in right now is our training ground. A time will come when you'll be called to the stage and you cannot prepare in the stage. You cannot prepare on stage. So you have to start preparing all the preparation now. Do it now.
Oh,
That's the essence of personal development.
yes. Oh, wow. Oh,
Consistent,
wow. Okay. So
consistent with
from yes. Okay, we can hear you. We can
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me? Okay.
Yes.
And lastly, you keep track of your performance. How are you doing? So you want to be sure that you have someone, an accountability partner, or maybe a friend that you can send, one of your work to the person and say, please, how am I doing? And the person will be able to tell you, oh, you're doing really great. So compared to the way you were before, because you need feedback, right? You need feedback to ensure that you're making progress. Because once there's no feedback, there's no progress. How will you know if you're doing better? You won't know. So you need to have someone who will be able to tell you, oh, you're doing better than you were yesterday. You have tried, you've improved. Maybe you need to make a better decision. Okay, maybe you need to step up this game a little bit. So all of those things are the effective strategies that can help you to master your personal development journey. The only reason why you can stay
Yeah.
consistent and disciplined in whatever you're doing is when you have a vision of where you're going to. If you have a vision for where you're going to that is bigger than you, your vision is not necessarily how you are right now. Your vision is something that looks impossible.
Mm.
The way I am right now, I'm not looking like somebody that you're going to see in on television in United Nations. I don't look like it, but that is the
Oh,
vision. I don't look like it, but that is the vision. I don't look like somebody that is going to be sitting on at boardroom tables, but that is the vision. So you see that it's actually looking impossible. If I should tell someone out there, they might just actually laugh at me. Like, what are you saying? Where do you think you're going to? But that is it.
oh,
If it's not bigger than you, it's not a vision. If it's
wow.
not bigger than you, if it's not looking impossible from where you are, your current state, who do I even know in Lagos self? Not to talk of United Nations. But then
Mm.
it has to be bigger than me, right? It has to be bigger. The picture has to be big. And that thing fuels your desire. It fuels the decisions that you take. And I will not forget to add, you see, environment is a very vital role, very important when it comes to grooming your person, developing yourself. Like I said, that okay, from 2022 up until now, I've not been able to give up on my vision. And that is because I have people around me that when I see these people, gosh, I cannot rest. What am I resting at this age of my life, at this stage? That people like Melu that is as aged as he is working hard, building legacy of his name. Then I am doing what? I'm sleeping, I'm playing, I'm getting tired. Tired of what? So environment is important. Who are the people around you? Who are the people in your circle? Whose voices are you listening to? Like currently, it has become a habit. I can't say I feel sick when I I've not played one YouTube session with Apostle Joshua Selman or a Buku Awoshika or these great people who sit in Bekwayo. If I've not played their video in a day, I feel sick. Like their voices echoes in my head. Their voices echo. So when I see that these people are surrounding me, because when they talk about environment, it's not necessarily like where you're staying currently. It could just be your phone. Who are the people in your chat box? Who are the people that are talking to you? What groups are you in? On your Facebook timeline, who are the people that are there?
Hello,
Because
Mr.
whether you like it or not, your environment has
Yes.
a stronger power. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you. We can hear you. Can hear
Okay.
you.
Whether you like it or not, your environment has a stronger power than your will. So, yes, you want to stop a particular thing, but if you are not in the environment where people who are disciplined, who are consistent are, you're going to fall. You're going to fall. We're not that strong. It's our environment that are influencing our decisions. So, your environment influences your decision. Make sure you filter people that are around you. Filter people that you don't need and keep them aside. You see this here that they keep saying no grief for anybody. Yes, not grief for anybody when they add value to your life. So everywhere you are, your timeline, your Facebook, your WhatsApp, online space especially, because these days we are so glued to our phones, our tablets, our everything that has to do with social media. We're so glued to it.
Hmm?
So it is taking every bit of our attention. It's taking every bit of our
Hello.
attention.
We can hear you now.
Okay. Social media
Yes.
is taking a lot of our attention, but it ensures that what you are giving your attention to is worth your time, is worth your energy, is worth your resources. Environment is very, very powerful. And what I
Mm-hmm.
would say is that in this your process of development, what is most important is who you are becoming as a person, not what you can get. Because a whole lot of people have turned this whole and me to personal development. They want to get. Some people want to make 1 million naira in 3 days. Some people want to do this. They want to get. It's not all about that. See, what is very, very important here is your inner being, who you are becoming. To the extent that if you lose anything, can you get it back? That's the meaning of personal development. It's a personal thing, it's inside of you. It's not about your outer thing. And like Apostle Joshua Selman would say, success is not what you get, it's what you attract by who you have become. So you need to focus on who you are becoming. One, are you a consistent person? Are you resilient? Because troubles are going to come, trials are going to come, problem will come. But are you somebody that can withstand this problem? You need to build resilience. How do you handle mental stress? How do you handle trials? How do you handle things that come and blow at your face? So you need to develop those inner capacity first before you can start producing things that the whole world will start saying.
Yes, ma.
So there's
Yes,
so
ma.
much you need to do. And lastly, as regards the reading of books, don't get me wrong,
Okay.
reading of books is great. I'm a product of books, right? But you want to ensure that whatever it is you are reading, it is
Yes,
producing a
ma.
result in your life. Because when there is no
Yeah.
results, go back, you have not done anything. So there wants to be a change in you. If you've read a book and you've not been able to gain or learn something about it, go back. You've not read anything. Maybe you're just reading for reading's sake. You're reading because people are saying they've read 4 books in a month. That is not you. Focus on your lane. Focus on your just day on your day, basically. Day on your day.
Yes.
For me, I can stay a month and I will read just 1 book. And I might not even finish it. But it's not about finishing the book. It's about what have
Mm,
I gained from this book that will transform my life, that will produce something
yeah.
different that was not there before. So let's say, for
Yes.
example, I'm trying to pick up a book to read, Think and Grow Rich. Why am I reading that book? You need to ask yourself a question. So don't read book because people are saying, this book is great, this book is fantastic. Yes. But before you dive into it, ask yourself, why am I reading this book? What do I want to
Mm,
get out of this? If I'm reading Think and Grow Rich, it is because I want to be able to master my thoughts. You see this thing called our mind? If you can think, see, oh God. No wonder the Bible says that as a man thinketh, so he is. If you can think, the 360 undergraduate is a product of my thoughts. I was just thinking about something, and here it is. I am making sales today because I thought about something and I mastered the thought well enough to produce something out of me. So if you can pay attention to this, your thoughts, if you can pay attention to the things you think about, the ideas that come out of you, you can make millions. So you see where the thing is. So instead of focusing on what can I do that will give me money, no, focus on your thoughts. How are you thinking? What is your mind processing every single day? That is where the secret is. Your mind. That is where the secret is. So you see this personal development. What I will advise anyone to do, focus on who you are becoming, focus on developing your mind, how you think. It is very, very essential. So if you can learn how to think well, you can have a better life. That's basically it.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Wow. Very loaded session. Thank you thank you for everything and for just taking us back to the basics. There was a particular part I liked about identifying the gap and knowing your own gap, not following all the other gaps. Well, right now we'll come back to our Q&A session for those that have questions, and if they don't, I have. So we'll be going next to our next speaker, Mr. Favor Aigbodion. Thank you, Miss Stephanie. I appreciate Mr. Favor.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not displaying my screen at the moment. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good
We can
evening,
hear you.
everyone.
I hear you.
Yeah. So
Good
sorry,
evening.
sorry, I'm not displaying my screen at the moment. I have a lot of issues here around where I'm staying. So I would be displaying my slides. Please, could you put on the slides? Could you display it?
Yeah, yes, sir. Almost ready for upload.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Okay. So while we are waiting for the slides, Stephanie has said a lot, a whole lot on personal development, and why I'm like, what will I add to this? But there's something you need to know about personal development. You are the man in the mirror. You understand? The same way these guys sing it. You're the man in the mirror. Don't go comparing yourself to people, right? Don't go comparing yourself to people. Like she said, people are reading 10 books, so you want to join them and read 10 books. Meanwhile, you don't have any use for it. This will just be hard work going like gone for waste. This is just mere hard work and it's in vain. So, in these lights, I would love to define personal development. Can you still hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you still hear me? If you can hear me, please tap on the chat box so I can know if I'm to continue also. Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me. All right. So I would love to define personal development as a lifelong journey of improving your skills, your knowledge, and behaviors to become the best version of yourself, right? Become the best version of yourself. Because it's really, really important. It's really important. There's a lot of value into yourself. You need to be valuable to yourself before you become valuable to others, before people see you as valuable. Brian Tracy also sees this as the process of improving yourself through conscious habits and activities. Conscious habits and activities. So it's not just you don't just wake up and you become all developed. You just wake up and then you're that person you've dreamed to be. So while you have a vision, like Ma Stephanie talked about, you need to also take conscious habits. Do you wake up early in the morning? While you wake up, do you have a routine? Most of the big people that the world announces today, they have a routine. I was watching a documentary or no, a live session, an interview with Elon Musk, and He said it's on, I think it's on YouTube. You could check. If I'm less busy, I'll send the link to the organizers. He actually said that he only slept 2 hours a day so that his company wouldn't fall apart. You can imagine someone like that. And today everybody's like, I want to become like Elon Musk. But he has a routine. Many of them have a routine. So how can you develop this? We'll be looking at that shortly. So other key takeaways from that definition is development is can occur rather in many ways. So if you're talking about the professional life, don't also forget that you have the physical part of you. How physically fit are you? So rather, how fit are you? You know, are you the type that just eats almost like eats anyhow? Or these are other aspects, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual development, and your social life too. So even if you are developing your physical self, okay, you do like 50 push-ups every morning, and then your mental health is one side, your mental health is not being developed, you won't achieve those goals you are thinking of, those dreams you have, you won't achieve them. Even your spiritual life. This was something I had to sit down like almost everywhere because I'm a graphic designer, right? And I've been involved in a lot of volunteering. So there came a point in my life where I'm doing jobs. Okay, then I used to work out. Now I'm not working out. Final year project is on my life. So I'm not working out for now. Yeah. So I was doing a lot of developments, professionally, doing graphic design, and other things. But I didn't focus on my spiritual life. And the moment I noticed this problem, because things choked me up. This is why she talked about self-awareness. You need to know that there's a problem. You need to actively check yourself. If you want to be developed, if you want to be better than who you are now, you need to check yourself. And I recommend you write down. I recommend you write down anytime you want to think about this, write these things down. These are questions I would love you to provide answer for. Who were you before? That's the number one question. The second one is, who are you now? Third one is, what did you do differently? The fourth one is, what things did you start doing? The fifth one is, what things did you stop doing? So not just thinking about it, who was I now? Okay, I was a student. No, write them down. This was something I learned from reading Eat That Frog, the book Eat That Frog. It talked about thinking on paper. So once you write, as you write, you begin to see a lot of aspects you're not doing well in, and it will help you with mastery. It will help you master the things even quicker. You'll be able to analyze your mind and find out these key things that are wrong with you and for your improvement in the future. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Okay. Okay. So another thing I would love to stress on. Okay, thank you so much, Stephanie. Another thing I would love to stress on is the fact that you shouldn't aim to be the better version of yourself for the wrong motives. Imagine I want to develop myself physically and I'm doing 50 push-ups so that when I have the abs, I have the chest and everything, I can go to the center of the road and pull my singlets, so that everybody will know that yes, I have the abs. That's something else. I don't know if you can relate. That's really something else. That's not a good motive for you wanting to develop yourself physically. you know okay, you want to attend conferences, you want to be a public speaker, you start attending conferences so that you don't have to be oppressed by your friends. You don't have to be oppressed by yourself, by your friends. That's really going to mess you up at the beginning. Okay, you could go to page 6. Page 6, yes. Yes. So another thing you need to do is the number 2, which says examining your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So in the business world, we see this as the SWOT analysis, and companies use this for strategic planning. So take yourself like that company. What are my strengths? What can I do? Right? Personally, I do graphic design, right? And at this stage, I'm good with some software and stuff like that. Now, what's my weakness? What's my weakness in this case? While I'm able to use this software, to a great extent, I've not been able to get clients. I'm just giving a visual, an example. Sorry, I've not been able to get clients. What opportunities? What are the opportunities in this case? I can grab a job. I can grab a job, right? I can grab a job from this graphic design I'm doing, but I don't have clients. Okay, sorry. The client's issue is going to be part of the threat. Sorry, my weakness is that I don't have that. Like I don't know how to personally brand myself such that people already know who I am even before I'm in the room. When someone says, okay, who is Favour Aigbodion? The first thing you're thinking of is that marvelous graphic designer. So these are some issues you may want to check. And what opportunities can I get from this scenario? You now begin, okay, I have friends in JCI, I have contacts in this place. Okay, I know a certain site, I know a certain, these are things that would help you develop yourself. So please, the next slide. Are you there? Okay, the next slide. So still on these questions, I would love to use myself as a very practical example. So who was I before? In 2019, I was just this secondary school graduate that just loved computers, and I just wanted to do something useful in my life. Not that I just wanted to stay at home. I wanted to be useful. So my dad took me out and enrolled me into a computer place. And since then I've grown this love for graphic design and anything related that would help my skill set. Right now, who am I now? I am currently in my final year. I'm just trying to brainstorm so that you see how these things work, so you can practicalize this in your time or in your private space. Remember to always write them down while you do this. So who are you now? I'm a final year student, and I'm a graphic designer volunteering for a couple of organizations like my department, NUASA, JCI and Uniben, and some others. And I've been able to, and I'm proud to say that I have improved because of these steps I've put in. Yes, I can say I've improved. Now, what did I do differently? What did I do differently? This is a very, very tough question you need to ask yourself. What did I do differently? The first thing I know I did differently was my network. That's one of the principal things you need to invest in this year. I don't know. There was, I think, this is my last year in this school, and I always stayed in hall 4. And there was this particular guy that anytime we meet, we can stay up to 30 minutes discussing about hot plates. Like we will just, 30 minutes, 1 hour, just hot plates. What's so special about the hot plate? You know, what's so special? You just stay and no, 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 no. I had to change that. Who am I? Who do I want to be? I want to be a graphic designer that will help brands. So I started listening to podcasts because I don't see myself as someone that reads books like written. I love video media. So know what works for you. Yes, I think that's one of the points. Yeah. So it's something that I invested on. I listen a lot to podcasts. The one I enjoy more is that of Mr. Tola Labi. He has moved from branding companies to branding lives. And this is a future I envision for myself. So the kind of people that should be around you should be those that you want to become like. You know, so if I want to become a footballer, I love Messi. If I want to become, if I wanted to chase that career, I'm obviously going to follow Messi on Instagram. I'm going to always look for how to, meet this guy, his posts, his quotes, anything about him. But you want to be a graphic designer or you want to be a public speaker. But who are the people that you mostly listen to? Who are the people that are on your social media? because those the things you do or you show interest in, that's what your feed brings to you whenever you visit it. You understand? So I started I started listening and following people like Mr. Tola Alabi, Mr. Ajala Victor. These were people that changed my life. I didn't need to think of the next step to do because these were bodily establishments of the future I imagined and much more. So having these people around me, even if I couldn't relate to them, it was of recent I had to talk with Mr. Ajala Victor. So these are people you need to look for how to be around, so that you have the mental picture of what you want to become. This is something you need to take very, very seriously. Don't go around being around friends that don't add value to you. I'm not saying you should disregard everybody around you, but your vision will guide your associations. Your vision will guide the amount of time you spend on your bed. You have an 8 o'clock class and you are waking up 9 o'clock. That's something you need to work on. These are small habits. And these were things that these speakers I talked about um focused on. These are things that they did a lot on. When they talk about their stories, they talk about how they don't sleep. I talked about Mr. Elon Musk just now. These are people who spend the time. So if I want to be like these people, I have to I have to see how their routine is and then move on. So another thing that would also help you, okay, a moment please. Okay, so what things did I start doing? First of all, I invested in personal branding. You see this personal branding of a thing. Personal branding. Because on my status, many of you just post casually. Anything I'm doing, I post it on my status. Okay, I went for JCI meeting, I posted there. And even on your social media platforms, I don't post on most other platforms as much as I do on my WhatsApp status. And people around me know that this is who I am. They see everything, and it makes me to form that connection in their minds. So if they're looking for a graphic designer, their thoughts don't escape my personality because I am the closest they know. You can imagine, you may be a public speaker or you may be a content writer, but you have friends that now tell you that I paid another content writer to do this for me. That's because the person doesn't know you do your stuff, like you are a content writer. And even if he knows, he doesn't trust you enough. So I constantly post my progress and even my process, yes, for people to know that, wow, this is how he does his thing. The magic we are seeing, this is the process. People get to trust you. These were some of the things I did differently. And I also invested in skills. These are personal development skills I'll be sharing with you. Communication skill, communication skill, communication skill. I had to say this because communication is very, very key in whatever you are doing. Imagine a graphic designer. He's so good. He's so like if you see this guy's design, wow, like but you call this person to teach you, and then you see a different person altogether. You see this, it's going to be difficult for your brand if you can't communicate the things that you do. So I know that, or rather I knew, and it's something that is still guiding me till now. I know that at some point in life I would be branding lives like the person I'm trying to model, Mr. Tola Alabi. So I would need to learn how to communicate to people who I would love to make impact on, and to people who I believe would help me. You understand? So it's not a case of you just being on your own, developing. You go for these conferences, you go for that. You even you burn the midnight candles on your books, 25 books a year. If you can't communicate all these you have built in yourself, then there's a question mark somewhere. It means you haven't. That's why I started with you focusing on not just one area in yourself, not just one area, and try and develop yourself in all areas. Your physical your physical self, your spiritual self, your social self, your mental self. In this cartoon back then, Kung Fu Panda, I think that was season one. Season one, there was something that still strikes me today and it guides me. It was a statement made by Shifu, the rat, that small rat also. I don't know what to describe that animal as, but there was something he told Po, the protagonist. He said, "Before the battle of the fist comes the battle of the mind." So before you see yourself taking on these steps, after the questions you need to evaluate yourself on, which Mas Stephanie talked about, you need to be comfortable up in your mind that this thing you want to become is attainable. So this brings me to resilience and adaptability. You need to be resilient enough. That's a mind, it's more of a mind thing. If you can't get in your mind that it's possible, everything you wear a black hat anywhere you are, they bring a suggestion, you know, or you are you're writing these plans down, you're asking yourself, how would this work? How would this work? It cannot work. You're being negative all the time. I'm sorry, you won't be developed in any way. You know, you enjoy a lot of disappointment because your mind needs to be shaping first. Now, adaptability. Like I told you, in my design journey, I started in 2019, and I started learning computer apps, Corel Draw, aside the normal MS Word and stuff. So I started learning this, and at the time, my laptop got spoiled. That didn't stop me from actualizing my goals. You get that didn't stop me from actualizing my goals. I had to start looking for people who made magic with phones, you know, made magic with phones. People like Na Christos in my industry, people like Na Christos. I know a lot of people who were using phones to create as much like beautiful works that you think that these people use their laptops for. And I decided to adapt to that. I started using my phones, started using the phone I had. And that helped me so much because there were times when my laptop got bad and I needed to do quick jobs. I could just quickly do them with my phone. And it was easier than my laptop. You see that these are strategies to adapt to that situation. Everything may not be perfect for you to become this person you envision yourself to be. But what can you do at the moment? What can you do? Mastella Obialo, someone I respect so much, she says that it's not what you don't have that is the problem, what you use. She says that a lot, and it has stuck in my it's stuck in my memory. Almost anything whenever I reason a limitation, whenever I come through um, circumstances that make my dreams look like they're blurry, I always think about what I have with me. I always think about what I have with me. I think when Moses for the Bible folks, when Moses was in the burning bush, and then I think when God was telling him that he's the Lord of God, sorry, that he's the Lord of hosts, and he needed him to do the assignment. It was the part when he asked him, "What do you have?" And then I think he said that was a stick, and then he held it and it turned to a snake. You know, what you need to improve is around you. What kind of people do you know? There were times when I couldn't attend to jobs because I didn't have the laptop with me. I didn't have data with me. I didn't have things I could use to make designs and deliver. But I had friends who perhaps were using their laptops to. I had to surround myself around these people. Adaptability. I had to surround myself with these people who could help me while I didn't have my laptop, while I didn't have my phone. There were times when like the matter was just so bad. I couldn't use my phone. I couldn't use my system, my laptop, sorry. So I needed friends around. There are even, I think, MTN Library for those in Uniben. MTN Library is a place where you have computers and free Wi-Fi, right? So far, you have your library card. There were times when I went there, I wake up, I have a class by, let's say, 4 to 6, just one class a day. But I'm out. I go out by 8, and I go there to make some designs on Canva. I go there to make designs on some other software I could lay my hands on. resilience, and adaptability. This would help you become your better self. I've talked about positive thinking, I've talked about networking. So lastly, I would okay, yeah, next slide. Thank you. So you are not in competition with anyone. This is a problem. This is a problem. I have many people who have met me and my boss, I want to learn design. They always come and the first question I ask is why graphic design? And then I now get to see the kind of drive these people have. They just want to make it because AI is here. So a lot of people are having concerns that AI is going to take over their jobs. AI is going to so tech is the future. Oh. I have to oppression everywhere. Oppression. Let me tell you what this did to me in I think 2020 or 2021. Because of the oppression I had from my classmates, the ones in JCI, I think my 200 level, I started to join LinkedIn. You just see this person posting today I achieved this, I achieved that, everything success, and I'm not using my life to do something tangible, So I decided to join LinkedIn. Let me still be in this LinkedIn. So I started posting some of my works, getting the exposure, and a white person reached out to me, a foreigner reached out to me, and he said I should send my portfolio and my CV to his DM. So being a newbie designer, I didn't know what a portfolio was. I had to even go and Google it. Like I had to Google it because, you're designing. People are hailing you, and you know, you just have this mindset that you are developing, you are doing a lot. But what's a portfolio? He asked for that on my CV. I was so down because I didn't have this. This was where I wanted to go, but I didn't have what could sustain it. I didn't have what could sustain it. So don't be in competition with anyone. Don't be in competition with anyone. Till today, I even had to abandon that account because I was depressed. I was so depressed. This is the job I have been wanting all my life. This is the exposure, but I don't have the skills. I don't have the portfolio. I don't have a CV. Even if I was called, I had all those things. I just quickly rushed. I don't know how to. I didn't know how to face interviews. I didn't, it was just more than me, but I put myself out there as a graphic designer, graphic designer. When you're starting all these Instagram and then they say, okay, put a bio, you go and check other people's own. Exceptional graphic designer with 30 years experience and is skilled, he delivers works on time in seconds. You start borrowing things from people. You start borrowing things from people and you don't have the skill. So I had to do a lot of self-reflection. I had to check myself. This depression, no, this is not like heavy one held my life. But today, because of the network I have, the people I could meet, those who stood by me and gave me network, even bigger people. I'm so thankful for everyone who has been around me. And this has helped me. Your friends, your family, you know. So even while you may be developing yourself professionally, please don't forget your friends and your family. I'm still particular about not just thinking about your professional self. Imagine you make it tomorrow and then there's an interview with your dad. There's an interview with your dad, and your dad can't say a lot about you. You would look like an overnight success. You know, you would look like an overnight success. So I would love to advise you today. Don't be in competition with anyone. Decide to develop yourself for the right motives. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Favor. Thank you, Miss Stephanie. Thanks for all the insights and stories you have shared. I myself, I wrote, and I will not say I was able to follow up due to some data network issues. That's what I would say. Network issues. But I learned a lot personally for myself because I'm a youth and I'm going through some of the circles and stuff like that. So I understand. And for anybody that's out there and they have issues, I actually believe you should have been here. Something I learned from Miss Stephanie was self-awareness. I actually really love that point. Identifying the gap, then you have to be self-aware, seek the knowledge. Self-aware in the sense that you need to know that okay, this is what I want. You also said it, Mr. Favor, know your why. Then beautiful stuff from everybody. Then intentionally post what you do. You can't, you're always selling a personal brand. Somebody told me something recently that you are a product and you need to sell yourself. So all the skills you're adding, you're putting it on yourself so that you can sell yourself out. You now become a product for people. So beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. And before the battle of the fist from the cartoon, before the battle of the fist comes the battle of the mind. So if anybody has any questions, should do well to post on the comment section and we can call it a wrap for today. Any questions, anyone? Hmm. Hmm. Any questions? Okay. Okay. Any questions? Uh, and who it is directed to. So if you have any questions and you have for a particular speaker, either Mr. Favor or Miss Stephanie, just feel free to post. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So okay. So in oh I was coming. Give me a second. Yes, this girl. Okay. 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 So Miss Stephanie. Oh, okay. Hello, Miss Stephanie. So before we came for this, we had some questions prepared down in case we couldn't get any from the audience. So I will give one to you and one to Mr. Favor, and we can call it a wrap. Okay, are you ready? Okay,
Yes,
cool.
I am.
As for you, my question before we started this session, I thought about consistency when we met online. I had to ask because I noticed your status, and that was serious. That was serious. So my question is, how important is consistency to my personal development? Like, okay, let me give you an example, like a normal scenario. For example, okay, I have this book. I know that okay, I want to start talking well, so I downloaded the book Art of Effective Communication because I heard that I don't usually speak well or the message I'm passing across people don't get it. So I say I want to read a book. I'm opening the book now and I leave it there. I read it the first day. I leave it for like 2 weeks before I come back again. Is it that I'm not consistent or what's happening?
Okay. Thank you for that question. Well, consistency. Can you hear me first off?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Consistency, it means different things to different people. Basically, consistency does not mean intensity. They are two different things. Like they say, it's not how far, it's how well, right? Are you going to get
Okay.
the result at the end of the day? right? So you might start off something, and maybe along the line you get weary and you get tired. You might want to like put yourself back, like maybe turn back and relax and everything. And then you're able to remember, I keep going back, your vision. And that's why even Mr. Favor said, know your why. See, that is just the basic thing. If you can answer that question and you said, okay, you want to be able to speak or communicate effectively, and you know how important communication is to your destiny, to your future, to where you are going to who you see yourself becoming, and you don't want to fail yourself, right? So it will make you to say, I know this thing is hard, oh, but I have to still do this. Then you go back again. Consistency does not mean that you will not get tired. Consistency does not mean that at some point you will cry and you want to stop, but it is not giving up at the end of the day. It is
Yeah.
not giving up. It is finishing the race regardless. It's just like, for example, two persons are running a race, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
one person started off and started running, got to some point, fell down, was tired. The crowd will start sharing, get up, keep going, you can do this, you can do this. The person is still on the ground, no. You can do this, don't give up. Remember the prize, the goal, you can do this, you're a champion and everything starts. That's why you need to have the right people around you. You need to have the right environment, association of people. Because if you have people that you can look back and say, this person is still going regardless, what am I now giving up for? No. If I can wake up in the morning and then I see Tony Elumelu still up and doing business at this age, ah, there's so much work for me to do. So that is like the association of people that will be cheering you on and say you can do this. And sometimes you go online, you see some inspirational quotes, some talks on don't give up, follow the process, who you need to become. You see those things does something to your mind. It reminds you constantly of where you are going and who you need to become. So it reignites that fire inside of you to actually go on. So it's not that consistency is you just keep running straight up marathon from the beginning to the end non-stop. That's not consistency.
Yeah.
That might be intensity and sometimes you might wear off, right? But consistency is whether you get tired or not. Resilience is part of consistency. You will keep going no matter what, no matter the challenges you face. Yes, sometimes you might take a break, you might want to rest, lay back sometime, give yourself a break, go back, rethink your why. Is my why really important for me to really keep going? Is this book I'm reading, is it really going to help me? This communication skill that I want to build, how is it going to help me in the future? What have you pictured? If you picture something that is bigger than you, like I said, there is no turning back. Yes, you are going to face a whole lot head on, but you know that no matter what I face, I will rest, I will take a break, I will cry, but then I will get up and I will go back again. So that's basically it. It's consistency over intensity. It's not about straight on, straight on. You will fall. Yes, that's where they talk about failure being part of success. You fall, you get up, you will cry. Please cry. Me, I used to cry sometimes. When people see me, I come out and show up. It's a lie. Sometimes in my bed, I cry. Like, why is this thing happening to me? Why? Why? But I show up again. That is the consistency. So people are only seeing the outward results. People are not seeing what's going on behind. I just have a resolute spirit to know that I have to keep going. Whether I cry, I will cry and clean my tears and get up and go back again. So that's just
Wow.
it.
Thank you. This story reminds me of that story they taught us in primary school. It was like the tortoise and the rabbit. The rabbit was the one that ran,
Marathon.
cheated.
Intensity.
He cheated, but at least we know that he did it consistently, step by step, step by step, until he reached the finish line and he won the fastest animal in the animal kingdom. To those that read all those story books, thank you. Okay, so yes, and also in my school, in medical school, they say something. It's not like if you want to prepare for an exam, you don't read for the exam 3 weeks to. It's not 3 weeks to. You actually sit down and effectively. You won't be able to answer all the questions effectively at that period in time. So What they
Yeah,
tell
this
you,
is
you
what
start reading from before the semester during your holiday. That's when you should start reading. So yes, thank you, Ma. Really appreciate. Really appreciate. So for Mr. Phil, thank you, Ma. You soon be going over. Mr. Favor, I have one question for you. One question for you, and we are done. Mr. Favor, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm still on the line.
Mr. Favor,
Okay, it's breaking.
hello, Mr. Favor.
Yes, I can hear you now, but it's breaking.
Hello. Oh,
I can hear you.
what's happening with the network?
I can hear you.
Hello, Mr. Favor.
I can
Mr.
hear you.
Favor. Oh, wow. Thank you. So this is a very simple question. Miss Stephanie pointed out earlier that okay, you have seen this is what you want. Okay, so programs I've come across are quite expensive. How do I go about it? For example, you said you went to a computer school, but it was your father that paid. For a student that is technically on their own in a sense, how do they go about it? Do you get me? Hey, network. Mr. Favor,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can I can hear you.
Okay, please, can you come again with the question? Network is
Okay.
really bad here. Yes.
Okay. For a student like myself, this is the question. It said for a student like myself, oh
All
no,
right.
I think this question will be better. This question said I began the year writing out
Okay.
some ideas of where I'd like to develop in. I've not started
Okay.
execution because I've been busy with school and procrastinating. How do
Okay.
I help myself?
How do you what?
Help myself. How do I help myself?
Okay. So you have decided what you want to do, right?
They
But
know
you're
their
in
why.
school. Okay, now you know your why. And you have school with you, and you know your why. What you need to do is to prioritize. At this moment, what is most important to you? Secondly, are your classes that frequent enough that you don't have any space to like put in that time for what you have decided? You know, I thought about this. Currently, I'm in my final year. Projects, as in from all, I was recently appointed the head of design, like the lead design role in my department, coupled with the designs I do for JCI and Uniben, TCRNSC. I'm still a designer and I'm still a student, a final year student. What has helped me is time management. This issue of we don't have time. We haven't allocated time. We
Hmm.
haven't allocated time. And please don't go wrong or don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should pile up things that you should pile them in such a way that they will be so overwhelming for you. For instance, this evening, okay, after this call, I may have some designs this evening, right? If I know I can't do that and the deadline is not there, these are things I can reschedule. You understand? So it's not a case of you being in school and you can't do that. You know, that's which you have decided. It's the fact that you haven't put in more time. And I suggest that you put in time. For instance, if you take out, let's say, 2 hours a day, right? Let's just imagine you're studying something as choky as, let's say, pharmacy, 6 years, or something as stressful as computer engineering. I know someone, a speaker that's helped my life a lot, Mr. Richard Chuku. He's in computer engineering, and he has spoken in many events as of my knowledge. I'm not talking about events in Uniben. I'm talking about because that impacted me a lot in the JCIN Uniben Academy, and he's doing a lot. Or should I call? I can call someone like Oluwaseyi Odebode. He was president of JCI and Uniben in I think the last administration. He's a
Oh,
public speaker, a corporate host. He was the president,
so we are having
and
a
he
bit
still
of
had.
network issues. Okay, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, like I was saying, these are people that have a lot of things to do, but yet they still find the time. So know yourself. Don't accumulate too much tasks on things. If it's a friend's hangout and you know that more hard for me, if I choose this over this, because there are a lot of people that are doing a lot. Lastly, still surround yourself with people who are doing the extraordinary. You see this will give you drive. There are sometimes when I see myself falling and I can't just do this. Even while I'm in school, things are overwhelming. But I have people around who are doing the impossible. So what I do is I make out time, and I am really, as in, I'm so careful about managing my time these days. So that is what will help you while you are um about to execute your while still in school. Thank you.
Okay, okay. So thank you to our speakers, both of you. Really appreciate your time and your effort, and I hope everyone that came in and tuned in, they learned something new. Well, I learned a lot. Yes. That's why this battle of the fist, before the battle of the fist comes the battle of the mind. It just simply means think before you do. So thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. So with that, thank you to our online audience. Thank you for showing up for your development. Thank you to our speakers, and have a good night, everyone.